What's up everybody, I am Buggzie and welcome back to Boyfriend to Death. I'm starting over. I agree that me starting with Ryer may not have been the best of ideas. Ignore the grumbling you hear in the background, please. So, I am starting from scratch. Bugaboo. I feel like Ryer being at the beginning of this episode really messed me up because it's, most likely the hardest level. So, I am going to go into the snake pit, which I would never go to in real life because it sounds very, very gay. This music is bumping, and I'm gonna have a very bad time if it's copyrighted. After waiting in line, I walked into the club. The music was pretty loud, but I pushed past the waves of people to the bar. It seems like I ended up in front of a bartender every night these days. God damn, if I had a webcam, I wish you could see how my head is bumping while I'm reading this. Rum and coke, please. A bit early for rum, don't you think? Oh, okay, Sasuke, how are you doing, my dude? I looked over to my side and noticed a man stirring his drink at me. I guess you're right. Oh, he smiled at me. I'm not here to judge you. Oh, sorry. It's been a rough week. It happens to the best of us. I didn't know this guy, but he seemed nice though. Real Sasuke-looking MF. I don't like him. Oh, my name is Bugaboo. It's nice to meet you. Just hearing that name is just so weird. My name is Sano. He took my hand and rubbed his thumb across the top of my skin. My hands were cold but firm. His hands were cold but firm, my bad. I looked up at him and he looked right into my eyes. A gray steel color, piercing right through me. What's wrong? He already has a purple heart. What the heck? Nothing. I'm just wondering something. Ask. What are you doing here alone? That's a very good question to ask someone in the club, besides myself, because I came here alone, and now that I think about it, it's pretty stupid for me to ask. It's normal for me to be alone these days. Have you ever felt that? Oh yeah, I know how you feel. It sucks. Not really. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say that. I met you after all. Sano looked down at his watch and then back at me. It's getting late. I better head back. Oh, so soon? Yeah, med classes tomorrow. Hey, wait, wanna grab some coffee? We're in a bar, what coffee? Guess you have to be a spoil sport if you wanna be a doctor. Peace, dude. Like I said before, goodbye. Do not make me call him back. Please, let's just end this here. You too. Sano slid off his bar stool and walked into the crowd. I watched Sano leave and sighed. I got up to dance by myself and bumped into someone. Hey, you alright? I didn't even see you there. Oh, I'm fine. I thought you just left. Huh? He turned his head and looked in the direction that Sano walked in. Oh, you were just talking to Sano, right? I don't know what the frick this voice is, but you wanna know what? It suits him. The name's Akira. My name is Akira. I don't know how someone with this voice would be able to say this name, but screw it. The name is Akira. He's my twin brother. He flashed me a cute smile and I smiled back. He looked just like Sano. I gotta head back to the DJ booth. Maybe we can play together sometime. Another time. Whatever the frick he said. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy liking this accent. Akira smiled at me and rubbed his hands close to my chin. Across my chin. God damn it. I cannot read for anything today. That might be fun. I finally left that loud nightclub. You're mine. Just as I heard a familiar voice. Something felt... It was dark when I woke up. I shifted my wrists to see if I could move, but something stopped me. It felt like leather, and it held me down to what I was laying on. Hello? I called into the darkness. Ah! The light was bright as it flashed into my eye holes. I could barely see anything. I saw an arm in the darkness pull the light out of my face and into the rest of the room. Where am I? You're in my medical bay. I watched as a tall man leaned over me. What's going on? Sano sat down on the chair near me. You want to know what's happening? I'm gonna be frank with you. Sano looked at the clipboard and put it back in his lap. I'm going to examine you, and you won't survive the process. It took a moment to think about what Sano just said to me. He couldn't be serious. What? I kept my eyes on him but said nothing. Sano took a seat near me. Wasn't he already seated? He sat down the first time, now he's sitting down again while being sat. Okay. So, tell me your medical history. Any genetic disorders you may have? He was acting as if all this was normal. Is this your Is this your idea of a date? I must say, you could use some classes, my dude. You could use some classes on how to be more romantic, if so. Sano looked at me deadpan. Funny. His heart is blue now. I don't understand you. What is going on? Sano pulled out a knife and plunged it into my shoulder, twisting the blade. Okay, we're getting right into the thick of it. I didn't save. Oh no. I just remembered. That's not wise, was it? I probably should have saved earlier. I let out a blood-curdling scream as he twisted. He looked like he wasn't even trying, but the force was pinning me to the table. I'm sure you could use your sense of humor to help yourself soon. Sano ripped the knife out of my shoulder. I let out another scream as I breathed hard. Panicking? A blue fire surrounded Sano's hand as he burned the wound shut. Please, shut your mouth. I felt like the room was spinning as the searching pain entered my shoulder. Blech. Spit out those words, they're not good. My eyes rolled back into my head as I passed out. Sano pulled out a needle and tapped it. I gulped. I didn't know what was in the needle. Give him a dirty look. What's in the needle? Is that some of that? It changed again! What the frick? Why is it light blue now? I devised a special type of general anesthesia. I really don't care to read for words right now. What does it do? It causes relaxation of the muscles and temporary paralysis. It also helps me enhance memory of the surgery. Is it for you? What does that mean? Sano grabbed my face, then touched it with his gloved hand. My angel, it means. He gripped my face harder and leaned in. You will remember every caress of my knife on your skin. I started to tremble under his hand as he pulled away slowly from me. He wanted me to remember what he was doing to me. Sano tapped my arm and pushed up his glasses. Real anime-like. Small veins. Have you been drinking enough water? That would be none of your business, sir. Me as a YouTuber and gamer. That, my friend, is none of your business. Sano looked over his glasses in an accusatory fashion. I can't drink when I'm... Oh, I want to be so smug at him now. I can't drink water when I'm tied up, can I? Sano made a face, then let out a low chuckle. I love this one. I love how smug I am. Thank you so much. This is so much better than the Ryer one where I felt like I didn't have a choice. I love being smug. He leaned over me, putting his hand on my forehead. Aren't you the smartest ass here? Maybe I can just inject it right into your eye. Okay, no offense to the creator, but I can't use this dainty ass thing as a thumbnail. Look at this. Why is the needle like that? All bent. I could see the liquid leaking out of the tip of the needle. That's not a needle, that's a freaking pipe. Don't you see this? What could I do here? Oh boy, I wonder what I could do here. I can't kick him in the balls or anything? Look away. I looked away from the needle and started to breathe fast. I could feel Sano looming over me and getting closer with the needle. Sano aimed the needle at my eye and smirked at me. How would I be able to tell? I'm looking away, ain't I? He pushed the needle into my eye and I screamed. Ugh! Almost done. It felt like my eye was going to explode out of my skull. I let out another scream and gripped the straps around my arms. No, that wasn't so bad, was it? Ah! My health begs to differ. I felt blood dripping out of my eye. I just wanted to pass out, but I felt more alert than ever. Sano watched over me as my breath slowed down. How are you feeling? I couldn't say anything. I could just look at him. Can't talk, Sano turned my head towards him and started to cut into my skin. It hurt like any deep cut would, but I couldn't scream. I couldn't even look away. Sano cut into my forearm and opened it up. Urgh! It's not unheard of, you know. Examining live people for scientific purposes. What was he talking about? Sano pulled the tendons in my arm out of the skin and looked at them. Spending too much time on the computer, Bugaboo? You frickin' know it, babe. A sadistic smile graced Sano's lips as he yanked the tendons harder. I stared at Sano, begging him with my eyes to let me go. Well, I'm kinda paralyzed after he ripped those tendons out, so... I don't see him letting me out anytime soon. Sano looked at me and tilted his head back to the side. Had enough? I wanted to nod, but all I could do was stare at him. The odd blue light and letters I couldn't understand floated around his hand. I looked at my wrist and it seemed to fix considerably. Sano looked over at me and patted my head. Sano bandaged the rest of my wound carefully. I watched him unstrap my legs and felt a bit of relief. He was done with me for now, so remained motionless. I started to get feeling back in my body and pulled my legs up. Sano looked up at the movement. That's a good idea. You wouldn't want to go DVT now. I think that's the least of my worries. Sano laughed and looked back at his papers. In this situation, I would say that's valid. He spoke to me so casually, it was almost like talking to a friend. But I knew better than that. I'm tired. Wow. Playing through Ryer already made me feel like no matter what I picked, it would just lead the same way. Here I only have one option. Wow, great variety. I did just cut you open. Can't say I'm shocked. Couldn't you use some of that magic, you know, to make my health bar go whoop? Make it go whoop? Can I sleep? I'm not stopping you. I'm just working. And I better save, because I feel like something's bad's gonna happen. Not like it matters. I mean, look at my health and my sanity. I'm obviously gonna die and end the episode soon. It was hard to sleep. It was getting really warm in this room. Maybe I should try do something else. I looked up at the corner of the room. Sano was in the corner, lighting something on fire with a furnace. In the furnace, my bad. As for Sano... Hey Sano, you got any more of those frickin' drugs you can jam directly into my eye socket? That seemed to really do the trick last time. I was just getting hotter. Excuse me. Sano walked over to me and leaned over me. What is it? I can't sleep. I'm tired. I have work to do. I can't attend to you right now. My voice is really... My voice is really getting heckled, me frickin' sounding like an emo 24/7. Sano picked up a needle from the tray and aimed it into my neck. It's not often people trust me to inject them. You don't know what could be in this needle. Sano smirked and injected me. Well, I'm just looking to end this episode, my dude. A lot of people know that in these reading games, when I die the first time, that's the ending of the first episode. And for all newcomers, that applies to you guys too. He was right. What if he was just trying to kill me? Wait. Good night. Aww, my health. Oh, okay, it was lights. It was so hot when I woke up. I could barely breathe. Are you awake? I feel like I didn't even say a single word. It's just, are you awake? I opened my eyes and looked at the man across the room. Sano was looking at me over the blue flame reflecting in his glasses. What are you doing? I started to cough and felt weak. I'm turning up the heat. As he spoke, I felt the heat bounce off the walls. I regretted speaking. I watched the haunting blue flames bounce off his hands and into the room. I could see why the walls were concrete now. Sano watched me and got closer, his hands still ablaze. Nothing to say? Sano grabbed my legs and burned my skin. Like I said, give me that sweet tan, broseph. Still nothing? Bite my lip, dude. Bite my lip. Act sexy. Do the meme. I didn't want to cry. He didn't look like he was in the mood to hear it. Sano looked at me and pulled his hand away from my legs. I closed my eyes and laid back. I felt the room closing in. I could feel myself passing out again. I opened my eyes and looked around. I had cooled down from the hellfire earlier. Sano must have opened the door for a while I was passed out. I could see Sano in the corner looking at some melted things on his desk. Maybe I could get my breathing under control. It was still pretty hot in the room, but it was cooling down now. I spaced out for a few minutes, looking at the ceiling. It was quiet. I narrowed my eyes and turned my head to Sano. Was he sleeping? Stay on the table. Like I had a frickin' choice, my dude. You forget that. I was too tired. I couldn't bring myself to try get out. My eyes closed and I sighed. Health is going up. I really don't like this. It felt like a few hours of dead silence as Sano moved around the room. He didn't even turn on the light. I could hear him pull something metal out of one of his drawers. Sano approached me and looked at me. He seemed to be studying my facial features. Tell me something, Bugaboo. I could hear Sano speaking through the darkness, and I swallowed hard. Do you know what prefrontal lobotomy is? I took a hard gulp and opened my mouth to speak, but he stopped me. Basically, you take something like this. Sano lifted an ice pick looking tool and waved it. And through the eye, I can separate prefrontal cortex from the other portions of your brain. Why was he telling me this? 'Cause he's gonna do it, stupid! Sano dragged the tip of the ice pick up my leg, and I shuddered. The cold, sharp tip scraped against my skin. It was a very common practice, especially in the late 19th century. For what, my dude? Since depression and anxiety were considered mental disorders back then. Sano looked at me over his glasses, narrowing his eyes with a grin. So, have you been feeling some anxiety? What are you talking about? Again, I don't like not having an option. I like to be as smug as possible with my killers. I mean, if I'm gonna die, I might as well die with a joke, you know what I mean? Sano leaned in and flicked my nose. I'm talking about... He aimed the ice pick at my eye. Trying out this barbaric form of neurosurgery on you. He smirked and tilted his head to the side. Sano pushed the tip of the ice pick into the cheek, digging deep. Ugh. I want to take care of you, that's all. I'm a doctor. This is insane, you can't be serious. I guess I have some feeling of anxiety. Of course I feel anxious. When you hold a frickin' ice pick to me, of course I'm anxious. I guess I've been feeling some anxiety. Come on, dude, rip out my eyeball. I could use a sweet eye patch. Really? Shifted nervously. I was worried that if I didn't choose my words carefully, he'd hurt me. I've been pretty lonely while you shoved a pick in my face. Smugness for the win. Fuck you, Sano. Sano smirked. He put his hand over his eyes and laughed darkly. How unsightly. He looked to the side and thought to himself. You won't make a good doll like this. I'll get rid of that repulsive behavior. What are you talking about? I'm going to make you better. Sano strapped my head to the table and the ice pick loomed over my eye. I shut my eyes hard and Sano let out a sigh. This type of behavior I was hoping to remove. Sano forced my eye open. I couldn't pull away as he pushed the pick above my eye. And I'm actually closing one eye while reading this because it's just like, I don't know why, I'm just closing one eye while I'm reading this. It's just so uncomfortable, but I love it. I could feel something break in my head as he pushed past the skull. I could feel the tip of the pick pull out of my skull as I looked up at him. That's better. He slid his hand on my face. So quiet. Don't worry, I'm almost done. Sano lifted up my other eyelid and pushed the pick into my head. Oh! I didn't feel anything. You were lobotomized. Finally! Thank you everybody so much for watching. That's the end of the episode. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you want. Because it helps out a lot. Flick the notification bell for the next time I make a video, so you guys never go to nightclubs. You'll meet some crazy doctor that's obsessed with you and rip out your eyeballs. Bye-bye!